Hey everyone, I'm back in Automobilista 2 on Low Fuel Motorsport for this week's video, and it's time to try some open wheel racing. Now I love a bit of Formula Ford action, so today I'm getting behind the wheel of AMS2's equivalent, the Formula Trainer. Qualifying went okay. I'll be starting from P10 on a grid of 25. My lap time of 1:37.2, maybe more than 1.5 seconds shy of pole position, but it's only 0.5 of a second off a potential top 5 battle, so that is what I'm aiming for here. We're at Campo Grande though in Brazil, a new track for me in a new car. Will it be Formula Trainer or will it be Formula Trainwreck? And it's green, we're underway. A decent getaway off the line there, much better than the driver in front of me. Daniel Boma was a bit sluggish there, so I'm going to move out to the centre of the track, hopefully get past Boma before we get to this turn 1. Got to be really careful here. Cold tyres, cold brakes, it's so easy to lock up at turn 1. Look in the rearview mirror, a couple of cars coming to grief. Meanwhile in front, there are 2 cars out on the grass to the right. I've got no idea how they got there. We'll go back and check out a replay shortly, but for now it's a really encouraging start. I find myself up 2 positions into P8. However, I have now got Matty DV on my inside, so I've got to leave DV some space here. And actually it looks like going wider has helped me because I've managed to carry a bit more momentum and stay in front of DV. Into turn 5 then, and there's contact from behind. I've been nudged out onto the grass by DV. Now I'm desperately trying to stop the car before I get stuck behind that big sign. I've managed to avoid the sign, but I've made a mess of trying to keep the car facing in the right direction on that slippery grass, and I rejoin all the way down in P22. Well, it was an encouraging start, but it has gone downhill rapidly here. Right, let's check out a replay of the start. Immediately we can see 2 cars getting tangled up in the background. That explains why there were 2 drivers stranded on the grass as we approach T2. Meanwhile, in the first corner, we saw it get messy in the rearview mirror, but now we can see exactly what happened. Marco Barafaldi getting clipped and spinning around. Right, let's take another look at these 2 drivers who got tangled up. And it was Carlos Chiveri in the red and white car who was a bit sluggish off the line, so the driver directly behind him, Baptiste Udron, tries to get around, but they lock wheels. Right, on to turn 5. That's me in the grey car with light green trim, and I'm just going to get tagged from behind by Matty DV. Possibly I was a bit cautious on the brakes, possibly DV was a bit late on the brakes. Either way, it didn't end well for me. I find myself down in P22, but I'm going to get a position back straight away. That was Lucas Guimaraes returning to the track from the grass out to the right, so that puts me up into P21, and I've got Yogi Sen in P20 well within my sights now. Oh, wait a minute, it looks like there's been some carnage here. Cars out to the right and to the left, so that is another 2 positions gained straight away. P19, and now I'm right on the tail of Sen in P18. I actually resisted the temptation to try and move up the inside of Sen there. It looks like he's carrying some damage, so I was half expecting him to go down pit lane. He hasn't done, so I might be able to get a tow here. Oh no, he's way too slow for that. I thought better of it at the last minute. I've got more than enough pace to get past Sen without needing any slipstream. So what can I do from here then? Before the race started, I thought I may be able to challenge for a top 5. I don't think that's possible now, but we have still got 17 minutes left on the clock. There are still positions up for grabs here. My first target has got to be to get into the top 15, and it looks like I may do it sooner rather than later because there is absolute bedlam here. Destroyed cars, broken wheels, dust clouds everywhere, and I do now find myself up into P15. Well, what on earth happened there? Let's go back and check out the replay. Before we see that incident, we can go back to the end of the first lap. Watch Lucas Guimaraes in the purple. Oh, he just gets drilled from behind by Diego Bonabello. Nothing Guimaraes could do about that. Let's take another look from Bonabello's on board. I think he's got his braking completely wrong here. Absolutely careers into the back of the Brazilian driver there. Remember Marco Barafaldi from turn 1? Well, he clearly picked up damage in that shunt. He's trying to keep the car on track, but he just can't do it. That was the 2nd position gained. And now we're going to see a second Diego Bonabello dive bomb in successive corners. This time it is Daniel Boma getting taken out. Boma sliding right back across track, and there's nothing he can do. He gets tagged several times. That is the carnage that gave me a couple more positions. And actually this troublesome turn 7 is catching a lot of drivers out on this opening lap. We're now riding on board with David Fernandez, who started alongside me in P9. He runs out wide after missing his braking point, and he's not the only one. 2 other cars joined him out in the gravel. And on lap 2, the carnage just kept on coming. Now we're watching Alex Madrid try a move up the inside of Matty DV. Once again, we see drivers locking wheels, and once again, we see multiple cars piling in. A big wreck, this one. And that's me just coming into shot now with the green nose, taking it very cautiously through there and getting up into the top 15. And there may be another position up for grabs immediately here, because I've closed right in on Marcus Gundel here. Gundel clearly driving with damage. There's a gap on the inside. I breeze past up into P14. Meanwhile, further ahead, Roland Almadi has got the unwanted pressure of having Diego Bonabello right behind him. Now, we've already seen Bonabello hit 2 cars. There's more contact here, but it is about to get worse. Watch Bonabello. He closes the line off and forces Almadi out into the tyre wall. So yeah, that did not look good at all. It has given me another position though, because Almadi has retired. So now I find myself up into P13. Well, we're still in the early stages of this race. It's only lap 4, 1/4 race distance, and look ahead, there has been another spinner. It's Mark Copper out wide. Is there going to be a gap for me to come past? Oh no, he's rejoining, heading straight for me. I immediately had to abort my line, take a bit of the curb on the inside to squeeze by, but that was really close. Watching the replay now, Copper loses the rear coming into turn 5. At this point, I thought he was waiting for me, but then he suddenly gasses it. Oh, that's how close he came to locking wheels there. So yeah, the luck was certainly on my side to get through that one unscathed. Back to the live action. We're now on lap 5, approaching half race distance, and I'm going to get more good fortune in this cursed turn 5. Look ahead, multiple cars out on the grass to the right. One of them is Diego Bonabello, so I wonder if Bonabello has been involved in yet more controversy here. The other driver I've passed was Michael Klassen. Let's watch the replay. Bonabello in the blue, nudging Klassen right onto the grass. Klassen's not getting that one stopped. He absolutely hurtles into the tyre wall. Yeah, Bonabello not covering himself in glory at all in this race. We can see Klassen in the left mirror. He's now alongside. Bonabello suddenly swerves to the left to push him out onto the grass. It didn't do him any favours though. Bonabello runs out onto the grass himself as well. That puts me up into P10. Astonishingly, I am back in the top 10, having been all the way down in P22 just 6 laps ago. And it could yet get better, because I'm closing in now on Emmanuel Vera. Vera in P9, but actually qualified in P12, about 3 or 4 tenths slower than my lap time. So I may just have the pace advantage over Vera here. Whether it's enough to get past him or not remains to be seen, but we've still got 8 minutes left on the clock. I could yet challenge for P9 here. It looks like Vera's getting a little bit loose through that corner. Just took a little bit too much of the curb on the inside. It unsettled his car. It gave me a sniff of an overtake, but I was taking no chances through this troublesome turn 7. And in fact, I've messed up my line a little bit there. I was spooked by one of the back markers rejoining to the right. And it looks like Marco Barafoldi. Of course, we saw Barafoldi come to grief in turn 1 at the start of the race. So I've got Barafoldi right behind me. Another back marker to the right. That is Yogi Sen. Can I get past Sen down the start-finish straight? Well, I've certainly got the pace. Hopefully Sen will lift and just let me approach T1 unchallenged here, but I've got to be wary just in case one or both of them come into T1 a little bit hot up the inside. That's exactly what's happening. It looks like Barafoldi came within millimetres of running into the back of me there as he locked up. Thankfully, my wider line saved me there. But unfortunately, it's caused me to lose a lot of ground on Vera. But further ahead of Vera, we're going to switch on the onboard TV cam to see how Seth Bacon is getting on in P7. And he is going to become another victim of turn 5. He's a little bit late on the brakes, runs out onto the grass, and once you get out onto that slippery grass, it is so difficult to get back on track. Bacon has got back on track, but it's cost him a lot of time, and now Vera has got him in his sights. So as things stand, we're on lap 8. It is Bacon in P8, Vera in 9th, me in 10th. There's about 5 or 6 seconds separating us, but that is going to come down dramatically when we see Bacon make another mistake. And yeah, guess which corner it is that causes his downfall? The troublesome turn 7. How many drivers have we seen get it wrong? Watch Bacon, he just gets 2 tyres out into that gravel on the right, and it sucks him out off track. And honestly, it is like quicksand out there at this part of the circuit. Once you get bogged down in it, it is so difficult to get out of it and get back on track. Bacon has got back on track, but he's lost 2 positions. Vera up into P8, me up into P9. Bacon right behind in P10, and now for the first time in this race I am going to be put under real pressure for position from a car behind me. Bacon's got the pace, we know that. He qualified P7 on the grid with a lap time of 1:36.7, so he's several tenths quicker than I am. Into turn 1 then at the start of lap 9. I'm just a bit too hot into there and missed the apex. That's going to cost me a tenth or two. Vera will make a break for it here. Will Bacon attack? No, he's still just 0.3 of a second behind. Into this fast turn 2 then. I've got to keep my momentum through here. Mistake! I just clipped the grass on the outside of the track, riding over the curb. Somehow I managed to hold onto the car, but that has allowed Bacon past and the lap Barafoldi past as well. I'm back down into P10. Well, this could have been so much worse. Watch my rear right tyre. It just clips the grass right there, and as soon as I do that, I'm out of control. Did really well to keep it facing in the right direction though. Could have been a lot worse. As it is, I've only lost one position. I'm still in the top 10. And with that, we jump forward to the very last lap of the race. I'm still in 10th position. I'm just half a second behind Vera in 9th. Bacon is in 8th. He's just about within sight, but he's opened up a 5-second advantage. So I think P8 is beyond me here, but can I mount a last lap challenge to get past Vera and take that P9? Well, I've certainly got the pace advantage. Every time in this race I've lost a bit of ground on him. I've been able to get it back fairly quickly, but I haven't got enough pace to realistically challenge for a clean overtake. But at some point on this last lap, if I get close enough, I am going to have to make a move for it. Oh, wait a minute, there was a car on the grass to the left there, was that? Yes, it was Seth Bacon. So Bacon has binned it out of P8, so I do find myself up into P9 now. And what a disaster for Bacon. He is certainly not sizzling on this final lap here at Campo Grande. And it's a bonus position for me, up into P9, and now I find myself challenging for P8, and it looks like Vera knows I'm there. Look, he's trying to shake me off, moving to the inside, back to the outside. I'm not quite close enough to mount a challenge though. So I think I need a mistake. I need a mistake from Vera over the final third of this lap. Just having a quick look in the rearview mirror to see how close Bacon is. He is well back, 6 seconds, and no pressure from behind. Is that the mistake in front that I wanted? Vera completely misses the apex there. He's out really wide, but a wide line through there, you can still carry momentum. I'm closing in, but I'm still not close enough. And I'm just trying a bit too hard through this final section. I lose a bit of traction trying to keep the car facing in the right direction. I'm not close enough. It looks like Vera has got this P8 sewn up. I'm going to have to settle for P9 unless there is a catastrophe coming down this start-finish straight. But no, it doesn't look like there's going to be. So big congratulations to Emmanuel Vera. He drove really well to hold on to that P8. I'm going to have to settle for P9. But before we check out the classified results, let's see what happened to Seth Bacon. And he's going to make exactly the same mistake that I did through turn 2. One rear tyre, clip in the grass, and it sends him spinning off onto the infield. So this one was wild, it was wacky, but it was a lot of fun. A disastrous first lap saw me drop from P8 all the way down to P22. But just by keeping myself safe and taking advantage of some of the crazy driving going on around me, I was able to fight my way back up into the top 10. I finish in P9, and that's a gain of 1 position where I started. A good job all round. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the carnage, and I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Cheers for watching.